Living Alone Diaries After Shift Vlog. I'm a girl living alone in LA.
The Living Alone Diaries. It's a massive type of content that's making its way around social media, but it might be one of the most dangerous trends on the internet. This is a type of content where people, mostly women in this case, film content of themselves and what it's like living alone, which to me, when I first heard about that, I thought that sounded super boring. And I don't live alone, but even if I did, I don't know how I would turn that into content. Hey guys, I'm gonna do the dishes. Hey guys, I'm gonna sit on the couch. Hey guys, now I'm laying on the floor. It's an exciting day today. Unsurprisingly though, in these videos, most of the content takes place around the women's house in places such as the kitchen, living room, or sometimes even the entire place they live. But look, as much as I love immersing myself in a video of my favorite TikToker watching Netflix, I feel like it can have some unintended consequences. I'm gonna roleplay someone who can actually do math to show you what I'm talking about. We'll start with this trend, the Living Alone Diaries. Then we'll add the internet, and what do you get when you combine the Living Alone Diaries and the internet? You get weird and sometimes dangerous people seeing where you live, what your home looks like, and your routine. And you might be saying to yourself,
Jordan, things like that don't happen. You're just being extra.
well, here's what I say to that. Ew, did you have onions for lunch? Pee, ew. And then I would also show you this video.
Hey guys, and welcome to my first ever apartment all by myself. I am so excited to live here, and I'm even more excited to finally not have roommates for like the first time in my life. My apartment is a studio, so this is the main room in the apartment. What I'm really excited for in this apartment is this absolutely gorgeous window, and for the first time in my life, hardwood floors. Now the floor plan of my apartment is a little bit confusing, but if you'll stick with me, through these double doors in the main living room area is a walk-in closet, which happens to fit a full-size bed perfectly.
So at face value, this really doesn't seem bad. I mean, it's an apartment tour. We get to see video of this gorgeous window, the hardwood floor, and this pile of shoes that shares a resemblance to Smaug's treasure from The Hobbit. Very similar. But there's something in this clip that actually led to a very scary and kind of weird situation for this creator. We'll dive into that more in a moment though. In order for you to get a more clear picture of this content, I want to show you what goes on in this trend.
Isn't living alone boring? Me?
I can't read what scent that candle is, but I have one that looks just like it, and the scent is macaroni. So now I'm just imagining her whole apartment smells like Kraft's mac and cheese. That's delicious. That you could eat the walls. That was bad. In this clip though, we get a good look at her living room in all its neon glory. And at the same time, she's low-key flexing her window view, which no hate, because if I had a window like that, I would totally do that too. I'd be recording all kinds of content looking at that window. I'd make a TikTok account just for that window. Then we also get to see her making some kind of presumably alcoholic concoction with what looks like a diseased lemon. What is wrong with it? And then I guess most of her fun time consists of dancing, because that makes up like a solid 75% of this video. At one point, I'm almost positive she's doing the Macarena. I'm sure of it. Well, not, I'm kind of, she might be, I don't know, she might be doing it. And this leads me to a very serious question. Do people just dance for fun like this? Which I'll admit, I am by no means a dancer at all. I don't dance in any capacity, so it might just be hard for me to picture this, but it's hard to imagine that people are just dancing around their home while doing things. I feel like that would be really awkward. I mean, at least for me, it would be. But then again, that might just be me because I'm super awkward, super weird. My body doesn't dance like it should. Seriously though, let me know. Do you guys dance around your home? Like, I'm actually curious. Is that a thing?
Living Alone Diaries After Shift Vlog. Got home. Make bed. Remove makeup. Cook lunch. Eat lunch. Sweep floor. Watch TikTok.
Hold on. Is she watching TikTok on her iPad? Ugh, that feels so illegal to me. I cannot allow that. So I hereby cancel her. And if you watch TikTok on an iPad, you're canceled too. Actually, if you're watching this video on an iPad, you're canceled. You're all canceled. However, I will be generous and allow you to submit one appeal. You're welcome. Anyways, this TikTok is an example of a type of living alone diary that is a little bit more dangerous. I mean, she literally shows us the front of her apartment and the apartment that she lives in. That doesn't seem very safe to me. It goes against everything our parents said. And while for the majority of us, we have no idea what this place is, where it is, what it is, you know, we don't know anything about it, but there are a few people who might recognize it, or even kookier, they might actively try to find it. And this is something that people in her comments say too, which she just seems to brush off. So I don't know if there's some way that she's like actively protecting herself, or I don't know what's going on there. Maybe she lives in some kind of super guarded compound with armed guards at the front gate and snipers on the roof. I don't know. Or maybe she lives in prison. I mean, there are bars on the window, so that could be the case. I don't know though. I just thought it was interesting that she had zero concern about her safety.
Spend the morning with a 28-year-old teenage girl living alone in LA. 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m., 6:15 a.m., 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m., 9:45 a.m., 10 a.m.
This video has so much aura to it, and I am astonished. I mean, from everything being pink, including her strawberry Snuggie, to the Twilight cup, then being followed up by her showing us that she's driving a truck, it is so wild to me. And I'm not gonna lie, the fact that she drives a big old truck like that kinda took me out, because I just wasn't expecting that after seeing so much pink. I was expecting like a neon pink C1 Chevrolet Corvette. Anyways, this type of video is an example of Living Alone Diaries, where someone is showing us their routine. She shows us when she wakes up, when she leaves, where she's at certain times. We get this whole look into her life. And she's doing so much too, and it seems like people would have so much opportunity to find her. It's not like she's sitting inside the walls of her house or a guarded compound like the other girl. But then again, if she stayed within the walls of her house, that would probably be pretty boring. All I'm saying though is if I did a video like this, it would probably look a little bit different. So those are the 3 different types of Living Alone diary content that I've seen. In some senses, we get whole glimpses into these people's lives, like what they do, where they live, who they are. We practically get a whole governmental report on them. But with this content comes some danger. And I touched on some of them earlier, but I want to talk about them a little bit more. The first being that in many cases, these types of videos can leave behind what are called breadcrumb trails, meaning that there are little clues to your location scattered throughout these videos. Even things like a window view, sometimes the design of an apartment, sometimes your routine. Especially if you leave your home, people will really see your routine. They'll see what you walk by, what you do, the Starbucks you walked by, the GameStop, I don't know, whatever you walk by. There are all of these little things that you might not realize that you're putting in your video, but very weird and very committed people will spend a lot of time trying to investigate these little clues and figure out where they are or where you are. Then with all of these clues in mind, they'll say something like, I think it was Colonel Mustard in the ballroom with a wrench.
Wrong type of clue.
Then there might be people who decide to follow these breadcrumbs, and then they'll come knocking at your door.
I really don't even want to talk loud just because, I don't know, but tell me why the scariest thing when you live alone is somebody knocking on your door unexpectedly. I will go nowhere near that door to even check who it is. I can see from here that my door is locked. They were knocking. Then they stopped. Then they started knocking again. Like I'm not answering.
Another effect, and probably the most obvious, is being that people know you live alone. They know what your apartment looks like, and they sometimes know your routine. Then with the internet being so big, so vast and wide, there's bound to be some freaky deaky people who want to meet the creators of that content, sometimes going to very crazy lengths to do so. Let's go back to this video, for example.
Hey guys, and welcome to my first ever apartment all by myself. I am so excited to live here, and I'm even more excited to finally not have roommates.
This is Ashley from the YouTube channel Best Dressed. In this video, she was giving us an apartment tour. And remember how I said in this clip there was something that led to a very scary situation? And you might be thinking, what in this clip is so bad? Again, she's showing us her curtains, her floors, her doors. Everything seems pretty inconspicuous. But she put something in the video that probably shouldn't have been there. She included the floor plans to her apartment. And so if you know the city she lives in and you know roughly the area, all you have to do is look up apartments in that area, and then you can pretty easily find out where she lives. Because I don't know if you know, apartments include floor plans in their website a lot of the time. So they're available to the public, everyone can see them. And something like that is exactly what happened with Ashley here.
Are you that guy who stalked me on the internet, found the exact apartment that I lived in, threw a roll of toilet paper onto my fire escape asking me out and promising to not bury me in the woods? Welcome! Make yourself at home. It seems like you already have.
That's a pretty scary situation. And this video that I just showed you was the last video on Ashley's channel 4 years ago. And people speculate that she shifted to a super private lifestyle because of this incident. But I do want to be clear. At the end of the day, I'm not saying I'm against video diary content, but I am against harm. And unfortunately, like it or not, there are people who wish to inflict harm on other people. We wish they would all go away, but they won't. They're staying. Kind of annoying. So if you are gonna create content like this, just make sure you are super careful with the information you put out there. Don't show exterior shots of where you live, don't show fixed routines, and maybe post on a delay. Those are just some ideas. You will be a lot safer that way.